Yeah, so it's another one of these types of videos, where I show off a bunch of controllers, and that's kind of fun, I guess. I guess this is vaguely interesting material because somebody asked about this for some reason on a prior video of sorts. So, anyways, you already read the title, so let's start off with something everybody's familiar with. This is the Nintendo 64 stock controller thing. It is one of my least favorite controllers, quite frankly. I've always felt this was awkward to use. And, like if you're holding it with the D-pad and stuff, like that, it's like a D-pad thing, that's fine, I guess. I'm trying to use this horrid control stick thing that, to its credit, it hasn't snapped off, but I have that worry every time I, bit of dust there. That was already there when I got the system like years ago, because I got it secondhand. But I don't know. Some people like this controller. I think it's, pretty, pretty not good, I think, but certainly not the worst controller I ever used. That would go to the Intellivision controller, which is a ghastly device, but that's another story for another time, and I've got plenty of Intellivision related stuff that I'm going to bitch about that thing, if you're interested in that sort of thing, but we're not here to talk about that. So this thing was a large reason why I stay away from N64 early on. So I've been naturally, when you're not happy with the stock controller that the system comes with, you want to look for alternatives. And I found a couple over the course of who knows how long. So we're going to go through a bunch of these. I'm going to set this aside there. Don't worry, landed on the couch, didn't hit anything hard like the floor. So I'm going to start with this alternative, the Interact SuperPad 64 Plus controller, which vaguely resembles a proper gamepad of sorts. You got this D-pad thing, which it's a little soft there, but it's not too bad. The buttons are nice and things there. You got your triggers, and you got your Z button thing on the bottom here, which it's feels good under the hand at least. And then you got the stick, which, much like the N64 controller, is a little. This one might be a little more metallic, I think. Kinda, sort of, So it might seem like a little sturdier. A much more comfortable controller in general, I think. And this is what I've been using for a couple of years, though. And I don't know. Oh, I've used this a couple times, and it's a nice little alternative to the other thing there. It's certainly a step up, and to this day it works. You see over here it has a auto function and a auto fire function and a slow function, which basically it just pauses and unpauses at a rapid pace. That's sort of like a turbo button for the start button, which doesn't seem all that useful in some cases, but I don't know, kind of works in some cases, and in others not so much. I just flipped the viewfinder here. I don't know, so this is alright, nice in the hands for the most part. And like I said, almost kind of sort of resembles a proper controller. And then we go on to our next exhibit, which I'm going to have to do a jump cut, so bear with me. This is the Retro Fighters, I think they call it a Brawler 64, N64 controller. And the general idea behind this as if it isn't readily apparent, it's supposed to look like this. This is your Xbox One controller, I guess. I guess you could call it. I don't know. I guess the current version that they got for the series, whatever, is slightly the same thing, but kind of different, I guess. But that general similar layout. And so you got a proper analog, like a modern analog stick. You don't have the flimsy control stick type of thing, and it's not bad. And it works for the most part. D-pad's also pretty good. Buttons are kind of fun, I guess. This was actually a Kickstarter thing back in 2017, and I had backed the Kickstarter, which meant I got a controller out of it, which would be nice, because if I'm going to go for a Kickstarter thing, and I've only done like a couple of these, I'd like to go for the bare minimum in which I get the actual product in question, and that's what I got. I went for a plain gray option, which is all they had, and you know, you got your L and R triggers, 2 Z triggers in the back here, and they're just sort of like the soft analog type, which it's not bad. It's not a bad feeling there, but kind of useless for an N64 controller, which I'll pull that out here a bit. Is really just this, right? It's just a button. So this seems a bit like overkill and unneeded. This isn't bad though. It's nice, and it's your typical, you know, this thing there. It's nice and comfortable. The stick is fairly responsive. There is a little quirk here. There was a little quirk actually, where yeah, if you hold the stick upwards while the L trigger is, left trigger is held down, you know, there's a bit of a feel to it, because there is a bit of a I don't want to exactly call it cheap. It's like, it's a little lightweight. It is a lightweight controller. Like, I will say that much. Like, there's no real weight to it. It feels a bit, but it's not bad. It's like I've played similar controllers of a similar quality that felt much worse, and this doesn't feel too bad. You know, so I mean, look. You know, ever since I got this, I've been playing more N64. So clearly, it's done something right. If I'm playing more N64 with this thing. So, and this is one you could still get today on Amazon. I think it was like 30, 40 bucks or whatever. I don't recall. But, you know, I don't know. I think it's alright. I kind of like this one. It's nice and comfortable. So, you know, and this was what triggered the conversation, I guess, so to speak, or lack thereof. So somebody, you know, saw this and wondered what this is. So that's what this is, and you know, I don't know if it's much of a sales pitch or a recommendation or anything like that, but you know, it's not bad. You know, it's a familiar controller type, and you know, I enjoy it. And then there's one other thing that we're going to do another jump cut with. Anyways, this was the reason that I held off. Was for this thing. I'll try and get a wider view of this. This is, according to Amazon, I'm going to try to read this word salad here. Miador 2-pack retro N64 controllers, wired N64 classic 64-bit mini gamepad remote with upgraded Japan joystick for original Ultra N64 console video game system, blue-green. Now, if that is not the chunkiest bunch of word salad you ever seen on a Amazon listing, then I don't know what is. Came in this very generic looking box, gamepad joystick N64, D-pad, C-key, connector, precise buttons, diagram of the controller, nothing on the side, nothing on the thing, nothing on the bottom. Anyways, compatible with N64, I would think so. Built with an analog stick, made in Japan, utilizing the highest grade and quality, a high, wide, and ergonomic design to boost your gaming. To reach the knee-pad, small form dual Z trigger buttons, 6-foot cord, a large start button for easy reach with memory card port and rumble pack. Third-party product, not original N64 controller, but no difference in quality from the original controllers. I would hope not, because I think those things are dreadful. Anyways, you know, your usual logos, don't toss it in a bin, recyclable. No sad onion, surprisingly. So, naturally, actually, you know what? You should have had a sad onion here, which I will demonstrate. Now, I will, full disclaimer, I've already opened the box, so there's plastic things missing, but I did keep one component that this came with. Now, you know, the little rattling thing, right? Okay, so I swear to God, you know, this is actually what it came with. So here's what we're getting here. Is we got a blue Nintendo 64 controller, a smaller form factor of sorts. We'll get that out of the way here. And we got a green Nintendo 64 controller. I'm not going to go with the whole word salad thing. Get the fuck out of here. And then it came with, it fell on the floor. Oops. Yeah, so it came with a control stick. It's dangling about just like a random fucking control stick, like dingling in this fucking box, and that's it. No instructions, no nothing. Not that, I guess not. You really need instructions for something like this, but yeah, nice little bonus there. A replacement control stick for your shitty N64 controller, which makes me wonder why you want to get this. Actually, it makes me wonder why you would include this if you're going to play with this, which, by the way, has proper analog sticks, a more modern analog control stick. And this is actually a much smaller controller. It's the first time I'm actually holding the controllers, and this is much smaller in comparison to the other thing. Much closer together. Similar layout, though. You know, L1, R1, well, you know, it's only like left and right triggers, and then you got your Z bumpers there, and it's a lot for your memory cards and your rumble packs and things of that nature. And it's a nice translucent green, and also a similar blue one, which this isn't too bad. This isn't, like, first impressions, doesn't feel too bad in the hands. But I haven't actually I haven't actually tried these out, so I wouldn't know. And I guess I'll do a follow-up segment afterwards, make this video even longer. But yeah, that's the latest toy. I bought 2 of these. I figured, why not? So I guess now I've got enough proper controllers, at least, to play 4-player WrestleMania 2000 or No Mercy or Smash or whatever the case may be. You got 4 N64 slots, 4 controller ports on that Nintendo 64. Now I got controllers to fill all 4 controller slots, as it were. So we'll see. We'll see how these fare for the most part, but it's like about $30-40, you know, for the whole thing, for 2 controllers, which actually kind of surprised me, and part of the reason why I bought it. So I wanted to see if the quality held up. The reviews were pretty good, apparently. So, you know, if you can't trust reviews on Amazon about the quality of these products, who can you trust? Lots of people, actually, but that's besides the point. So, anyways, I guess we'll do a follow-up segment somewhere down the line, and we'll see how these play out. Yeah, well, it's not the most pristine concluding part, I guess, I suppose, but there's not really a whole lot to it. Yeah, this works fine. I mean, the D-pad is comfortable, the stick moves fairly well, the buttons, they click fine. You know, I tried a couple games with this thing, it works fine, it works, it's tolerable. I haven't, okay, I'll have to put a memory card in there, but I just needed this more as a backup thing, right? So, the one thing I will tell you though, I'm doing this with one hand, by the way, so this is very rushed, is that I have a tendency to go for the bottom bumper, to try and go for the L and R triggers, and so it's like instinctively I have to tell myself to go for the top one instead of the bottom one because that's what I typically go for. But that's just me. Other than that, you know, it's not bad. It's not a bad little controller for like the cheapness, the cheap price that I got for it. Like two for like what, 30, 40 bucks or whatever. So I don't know. It's like if you want to get one of these online, the Amazon thing. It's okay. It's fine. I'm kind of sad I'm finding half decent N64 controllers online than I can PlayStation controllers for the old systems. At least one that have like a half decent D-pad and not the broken cross buttons or whatever you call it. But anyways, not much else to say. That was my N64 controller collection or whatever you want to call it, and we'll see what else comes up the next time we do one of these things. So. Thanks for watching. Till next time, take care, be safe, good night. And I got some stuff to do here, so catch you all later.